.com and .ae, Canada, USA, and UAE, Dubai. 3 offices, world traveler here. What do we do? Help business owners with their tech support. So YouTube is where we're doing our Ask Me Anythings, and I've been helping out a business owner in Tennessee, and she's been asking me a lot of questions about how she got so messed up on Office 365. And I'm like, number one, if you're using technicians who have very little experience with Office 365, you're going to get yourself in a world of hurt, because it's all subscriptions, it's all monthly or yearly subscriptions. It's so granular. There's so many. There's like, I don't even know if you can count how many Office 365 different levels of subscriptions there are. And it's very easy to sign up for them. You just put a credit card on file. So it's super easy to sign up for them. And you're not going to put yourself in too much of a world of hurt if you're just using the desktop subscription for the desktop apps. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, Publisher, Access, whatever. You get, that's your licensing for those desktop apps. So you're not going to be too screwed by that stuff, other than the time it takes to install or uninstall the wrong subscription, switch over, money wasted with the wrong subscription, etc., etc. You can also get Office 365 licensing through partners like GoDaddy and Rogers and Shaw and probably every single internet service provider in every single country out there. Problem is, the admin tools at office.com right from Microsoft are the strongest, most robust, and are going to have the most tech support articles. If you're buying Office 365 from Google or another provider, there's not going to be as good tech support. There just isn't, because there's not, unless you're phoning tech support, which your results are going to vary when you're dealing with phone tech support. GoDaddy I find okay for domain support and for maybe hosted WordPress support, but I'm not really sure if I've been happy with their support for Office 365 in the past. So there you go. That's one aspect of Office 365, is the desktop app subscriptions. OneDrive's a complete different monster because it's your files. So there's a ton of different price levels for Office 365. A lot of people get messed up. They're not going to get messed up so much on their Word, Excel, Outlook subscription licensing, but where they're going to get messed up is, and where they're going to get pissed off is OneDrive, because that's where their files are being stored, and then email hosting. Because if you set up your files, I'll do all the work of uploading your files onto a particular OneDrive account, and then try to switch it. Well, your files aren't going to be there unless you back them up and resync them. It may not sound like a big deal, but some users have hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of files, and they're not even sure what OneDrive account they have it in. They might have Microsoft OneDrive Personal. They may have, it's also fragmented. OneDrive is also fragmented into personal and business accounts. But then if you have a OneDrive account over with Microsoft, and then you have another one with GoDaddy or another service provider, I've seen some business users using 3 or 4 different OneDrive accounts. And I'm like, this is madness. How can you keep track of all your files you have on OneDrive? Like, it's bonkers. And I don't even want to know how many different subscriptions you're paying for. This is why I don't get hacked. Cybersecurity. Number one thing we want to make sure you have is data documentation. You've built your business, you've gotten this far with your own skill set or through the help of another IT person. If you're going to become a client of ours, we document all your data sources, all your subscriptions. They may be legit, they may not be legit, but you know what? The only way I can put your business back together in case of flood, fire, theft, user error, hackers is I need to have proper documentation of all the digital accounts you have, your emails, everything that you use to run your business. I need to know where it is, the credentials you're using, and if it's backed up properly, because if you call me with a nightmare on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m., I needed to know how to put you and your business back together. So that's one. So we're talking about Microsoft Office 365 and how complicated and convoluted. I've been working on it today with a user in Tennessee, and her local IT guy may have had her set up for like four different Microsoft 365 accounts, and we're trying to get rid of them, and I need to go through and say, this is what you're using on this particular Office 365 account, and then the second one, then the third one, and the fourth one, so we know what files we need to move around. As I said, Word, Excel, Outlook, licensing, not a big deal. You can sign in and out. And then it's only a big deal really if you're saving everything in OneDrive, because we need to back up your OneDrive data, know what account it's associated with, and if we want to move it to a different account, we need to back it up and migrate it to another account, and then make sure your Word, Excel, Outlook, Publisher, PowerPoint, Access is all happy with the new location of all your shit. The third angle, I think the most important thing to wrap your mind around about with Office 365 is if you're using Office 365 email hosting. This is the most important thing you need to know, is if you've set up an email account, where is your Exchange server living? It might be living at Microsoft, as it is Office 365 email, but how are you accessing it? Is it through a Microsoft webmail portal? Is it through GoDaddy? Is it through Shaw or Rogers or one of these multiple internet service providers or third-party resellers of Office 365? It gets super confusing. Again, I was looking at one account today, and I'm like, well, I know where your OneDrive is. That's easy. You open up OneDrive, it tells you what email address your OneDrive is associated with. Word, Excel is easy because you can sign in and sign out and switch your accounts. But your email, your email account in Microsoft Outlook, it's not going to tell you which Microsoft subscription it's associated with. Right? We literally have to go into the administrative back end of each Office 365 account and figure out which one's actually tied to your Outlook account. We can do it. It's just going to take time, but this is where people get into cluster mess. They get so confused because if they don't have an IT person helping them out with Office 365 who knows the granular details of Office 365, like this lady was telling me, she got all messed up. She was locked out of stuff. And then she didn't realize she had so many Office 365 accounts. And I'm like, well, let's document what you got. Her most important thing is her email. Because she's got 10 years of email in that Office 365 Exchange account. So we backed it up to a PST file. We then did some organization because it's sitting at like 39 gigs. We archived a bunch of emails, made new email files for the old stuff, and then went through and were like, you have Office 365 accounts for email only that you're not even using. You've been paying for email hosting on Office 365 and you're not even using those accounts. So this is why you need IT consultants. You need a monthly coach to save you money, to give you peace of mind, so we know where your email is actually living, and make sure you don't get screwed up, right? Because not knowing where your data can be super frustrating and super annoying and piss a lot of people off. And if you delete the wrong Office 360, if you're cleaning this up for somebody and you're not sure what you're doing, and you remove the service with Office, even if the end user were to do it, they would remove the wrong Office 365 subscription and their email would be gone like that. Yes, you can probably call Microsoft or GoDaddy, spend hours on the phone with tech support to restore your mailbox, but who wants to deal with that hassle, that nightmare? You want to make sure that you're confident that you know where your data is, which username and password are the credentials to access that data. You want less confusion in your life. You want your data to be optimized organized. You want your credentials to be organized and up to date. That's the end of the Ask Me Anything for today. Make sure your Office 365 is organized, documented. Hopefully you only have one account that you're using, maybe a second one, not 3 or 4. This is why you really gotta choose an IT partner, IT consultant that you really trust, who actually knows what they're talking about and is gonna make sure that you, the end user, understand how you're using technology. Make sure you're not wasting money on it, because this is what catches a lot of people as unused, unfulfilled subscriptions. And it may only seem like $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month. It starts to add up if you've got multiple wrong subscriptions for products that you're not using. Anyway, peace out. Thanks for watching. I'll do a live stream from either Midway Airport tomorrow or Baltimore or Delaware. We'll see.